Let's get the daily take. It's time now for Geraldo Rivera, who of course joins us each day and listening in. Good to see you, Geraldo. On that, first of all, before we get to the other news, and what'd you make of what the vice president said there about the president, among other things?
Well, I think that if I could just direct my attention first, Connell, to what he said about the shooting in Dallas, jumping all over it and saying it was another example of left-wing violence. I am entirely unconvinced of that. It may turn out to be, but it doesn't. And I know that there was the writing anti-ICE on the shell casing, but there are two dead immigrants and another fighting for his life. The attack seems to me to be centered against the immigrants rather than against ICE. I don't know. I think certainly it's a question. It doesn't add up to me. Why were all the bullets aimed at the Latino immigrants in the van rather than spraying the building? I don't know. I think that if we have learned anything from the Kirk assassination, it's to get your facts in order before you leap. Rather than, isn't that what Kimmel was accused of so effectively? Yeah. Blaming the wrong people. So it just doesn't add up. The shooter was not Latino, as far as I can tell. The only victims were Latino immigrants. I don't know how all that adds up to an attack against ICE and the implication of against ICE agents.
White male shooter.
I think we have to wait a second.
Shooting indiscriminately, I think is the way it was described, from this elevated location while they were walking these detainees through. So yeah, I get your point on that. It was interesting because it's all, unfortunately, part of a larger conversation, because we keep having to have these conversations about, how we speak. Do we have our facts? What's the rhetoric? I mean, Ted Cruz even got into that at the event that was, announcing details about the shooting at the press conference. And again, here's a little bit of what the senator from Texas had to say about it earlier. Ted Cruz.
This needs to stop. Violence is wrong. Politically motivated violence is wrong. It was 2 weeks ago today that we saw a political assassination in Utah that tore the heart out of much of this country. This is the third shooting in Texas directed at ICE or CBP. This must stop.
Again, talking about it being directed at ICE, I would think is talking about those bullet casings, the anti-ICE that you referenced. But would you say that's a better way of handling it, or no?
Well, I think that Senator Cruz has been impressive in the last 2 weeks. I want to give him credit, because I usually don't. But I think that he's been articulate and sensitive, and he's worked hard. But again, a shooting directed against ICE proved that. How do we know that? You get a couple of dead Mexicans and one fighting for his life. How do we translate that into an attack against ICE? It would seem, I don't know. It's a 29-year-old
casings
shooter.
And it's at the facility. But we don't know. The lot we don't know, to your point.
Well, he's not. Yes, a lot we don't know, and that is the main point. And let's look before we leap, and let's get our ducks in a row here. I don't know what other cliches I could use for, let's let the facts speak. Rather than your political preferences.
Speaking of which, let me just do this real quick. I want to look down and read it, because this is a correction on that story. Developing from Texas, U.S. Department of Homeland Security has just issued a correction on the info released earlier today regarding the attack at the facility near Dallas, their Dallas field office. So here's the corrected information. It's not 2 detainees dead, it's 1. 1 detainee is deceased, and 2 others, are in critical condition. Their prior press release has been updated, they say, and this just came in from DHS. I just want to get that on. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.